Last time we looked at dividing using partial quotient. Partial means that you can successfully solve the problem by using parts to find the whole. Today, we're just going to find the whole. When we look at 294 divided by 7, what we have to do is ask ourselves is, does 7 go into 2? It does not. It is too big. So we're going to now say, does 7 go into 29? Yes, it does. So we're going to do some scratch work over here, but 7 times 4 is 28. So I'm going to put 28 here and subtract it. That's going to give me 1. I also am going to put the 4 up here above the 9 because it goes into 29, not into 2. Remember the other day I said that it was important where we placed the number over which value. So now we're going to bring down the 4. Please draw the arrow to show that the 4 is coming down. And in this case, 7 times what would be 14? I could do the work, but I happen to know that 7 times 2 is 14. So when I subtract, I get 0. Remember, we circle when we're done with our remainder. Remainder doesn't have to be 0. Remainder just has to be less than the divisor, okay? So in this case, the answer is 294 divided by 7 is 42. Let's look at another one. 647 divided by 6. Does 6 go into 6? Well, clearly it does. It goes in 1 time. So I'm going to do 6 times 1. I like the times there. It helps remind me. That's up to you, though. That is 0. So now I need to bring down the 4. Does 6 go into 4? It does not. So I have to put a 0 here to show that 6 did not go into the 4. Now I'm going to bring down the 7. Does 6 go into 47? Well, let's see. 6 times 7. Let's see. What was that? That's 42. So that's close. So I'm going to put a 7 there. And 42 with 5. Does 6 go into 5? We have nothing else to bring down. So our remainder, because it is less than 6, the divisor, is going to be 107, remainder 5. So the final answer, 647 divided by 6, is 107, remainder 5. 894 divided by 6. Well, let's take a look. Again, does 6 go into 8? It does, and of course it goes in 1 time. So I'm going to do 1 times 6, which is 6. 8 times 6, 8 minus 6 is 2. Does 6 go into 2? No. So now I'm going to bring down the 9. Does 6 go into 29? It does. It goes in 4 times because 4 times 6 is 24. I'll subtract 9 minus 4. And we're done with that part of the problem. Now I'm going to bring down the 4 to make that 54. What times 6 is 54? Oh, perfect. 9 times 6 is 54. So when I subtract, my remainder is 0, so I circle it, and the answer is 149. We'll do another. 9 times what goes into 7? I'm going to be quiet and you tell me. 9 times what goes into 7? Well, 9 times nothing goes into 7, so I can put a 0 there or I can leave it blank. Now I'm going to say 9 times what goes into 70? Well, 9 times 7 goes in, 7 times 9, is 63. The answer when I borrow is 7. We know 9 doesn't go into 7, so now I'm going to bring down the 3. 9 goes into 73. Let's see, 8. 8 times 9 is 72. Subtract is 1. Is 1 less than 9? Because I have nothing else to bring down. It is, so that's my remainder. So 78, remainder 1. Go ahead and try and solve this by yourself by copying the problem down. After you've hit pause, solve it, and then push play and see how you did. Well, does 7 go into 4? Now it's too big, so I can put a 0 here. Does 7 go into 41? It does. 5 times 7. 5 times 7 is 35. I have to borrow. That's 6. Does 7 go into 6? No. So I'm going to bring down my 7. 7 times 9 is 63 with 4. 4 is less than 7, the divisor. So I'm going to circle it. 59, remainder 4. How'd you do? We're going to do one more practice. Copy this one, hit pause, and come back. Does 9 go into 4? No, it's too small. Does 9 go into 46? It does. It goes in 5 times. 9 times 5 is 45. I'm going to subtract, get 1, bring down my 9. 9 goes into 19, no, 2 times. 2 times 9 is 18. 1. 1 is less than 9, so he's my remainder. 52, remainder 1. Let's take a look at this. It's a little bit trickier because there's a double digit that we're going to have to multiply with. Right now I have to ask myself, what times 17 would be 132? I tried a number of choices. I did 17 times 8. It was too high, so I tried 17 times 6. It was too low, which made me think 17 times 7 might work, and 17 times 7 did give me 119. So 119 worked. So I'm going to put my 7 over the 132 and subtract out the 119. That becomes 2. That becomes 12. So 12 minus 9 is 3, and that's 13. So does 17 go into 13? It doesn't. It's too small. So I'm going to bring down my 4, and now I have to ask myself, how many times does 17 go into 134? Well, as it turns out, it's going to be 7 again. That's the closest number. So I'm going to do my subtraction again. That's 2. That becomes 5 and 1. Does 17 go into 15? No, it's too small, and I have nothing else to bring down, so I'm going to stop here with my remainder. So the answer to 1,204 divided by 17, 77, remainder 15. Go ahead and copy this problem down and try it by yourself. Remember, it's a little trickier because I'm going to have to do a number of multiplication problems to see what times 48 will get me close. How did you do? My first question to myself is, how many times does 48 go into 8? Well, it doesn't. So how many times does 48 go into 84? Well, it does go into that, but does it go in 2 times? I'm not sure. That's 16, carry the 1, that's 96. Well, that's too much. So 48 goes into 84 1 time, and it's 1 times 48. So I'm going to do my subtraction, and that gives me a 7 and a 14. That's 6, and then 7 minus 4 is 36. Does 48 go into 36? It is too big, so I'm going to bring down my 8. How many times does 48 go into 368? Well, the first thing I tried was 48 times 6. 8 times 6 is 48. Carry the 4. 24 plus 4 is 28. So 288. So is not going to be enough, or at least I don't think it's close enough yet. Let's try 48 times 7. 8 times 7 is 6. Carry the 5. 7 times 4 is 20 plus 5 is 33. So 336 is closer. I'm going to put my 7 up here. And 336. 8 minus 6 is 2. 6 minus 3 is 3. Now, I need to bring down this 5. 325, well, I can look at this and see that 325, I can still not use 336, that's too big, but I can still use this 6 here. So put the 6 there, and that's 288. And subtract, I need to borrow is 7. I need to borrow is 3. 37. So 37 is smaller than 48, which means it's my remainder. So 176, remainder 37. How did you do? I've gone ahead and given you the choice of doing the A problems or the B problems. Take a look at both and see which one you'd prefer to do, and then just go back and hit pause to choose which ones you're going to solve. But please have your paper horizontally, landscape, and then write the 4 problems down. It's your choice between the 4A, and then if you wanted to do the 4B also, you could, but it is not required. But please put the B on the back side or another piece of paper so that it's easier to grade. So you're going to copy these down and solve them, or you're going to copy these down and solve them. Remember, you are not required to solve the B. If you feel like a challenge, go for it. Otherwise, just solve the A. Bring this in with you when you come to school. I can't wait to see you tomorrow.